All right, there's a few things. There are a few things going on with the media. First of all, I thought the Journal lack of transparency on their reporting. I'm sure that had to do with their sources, but I thought that was extremely irresponsible. They should have said more about their sourcing and about the nature of the thing. It's just not right. It's not in their own interest. It's not in the public interest. The media in general, I thought their coverage of this was abysmal. They don't and they don't seem to understand like the significance of it.
Wait. I want you to. Can you pause? I want you to explain. I want to know what the significance is. In your opinion, what do you think was big about that?
Okay, so I'll tell you about showing you one thing. Show 106A, please. So, as I said yesterday, and this is the context for me for this story, what is their relationship? Why does it matter? Donald Trump's credibility as someone who is in charge, despite his occasionally saying he's not in charge, then he orders Pam Bondi to do something. He's in charge of what's disclosed to the American people and for the tens of millions who want disclosure. Okay. There's no indication he broke the law. By the way, correction on my part, Donald Trump did fly on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I said he didn't yesterday. What I was thinking was he never flew to the island. I apologize for that error. Washington Post had their vaunted fact checker, the dispenser of Pinocchios, do a fact check. Trump and Epstein had a relationship, but there's no evidence of Trump wrongdoing. Okay. Then here's their conclusion, 106B. No credible allegation he's emerged Trump connect to any of Epstein's crimes. If the full file is ever released, we are confident that no connection would be found. That seems like a crazy thing for the Washington Post fact checker to say. I have no idea how they could make that assertion. Rest assured, if Trump were promptly mentioned, it would have been leaked by now. I don't believe that's true. I think people throw that around. It's ridiculous. Now, answer your question, Sean, playing off of this. The president is in charge of what the country is going to know about this. His credibility is he balancing simply the public interest versus the rights of the accusers, the rights of the accused, or is his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein sufficiently intense that he has some conflict there? And based on what we know, the photos, the videos, if this journal story is accurate, and I don't know if it is or not, but I don't think it's obviously not true. There's a deep relationship there. Okay, so these are all the questions I raised yesterday. Just take out that it's about Epstein. Just say the public's really interested in disclosure, and the president's making the decision. You could argue based on what we already know he's conflicted out. It's about someone who was a close enough friend that they flew around together. They did the things we've seen them do together on video. I believe the relationship could be significantly closer. And that doesn't mean I'm accusing the president of breaking the law or being engaged in any of the activities that people are most concerned about. But we simply don't know. And so why this story matters to me is because I think it's probably true. I don't know that it is, but I think it's probably true. And that suggests a long, intense, intimate relationship with Jeffrey Epstein that bears on the public trust in the president to be the decider of what gets released. That's my answer.
So I guess the reason I ask this is I look at this and say, okay, you're having a 50th birthday party and a bunch of people reach out and say, hey, you're bros, write something cute. You saw some of the other comments that were made. And I go, okay, like, I mean, maybe you could look at that and say it's inappropriate or gosh, it wouldn't, even if it's authentic, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying. I don't think the inappropriate is not to quote Laura Loomer and the vice president. I think that's bullshit. Donald Trump.
Right, okay, I get but that's why I asked you to explain, because when I read that, I'm like, it is a BS story. I was like, so what? I get asked all the time, not that I do it or that I'd say the same thing, but people, and you guys know the same thing, people go, hey, we're putting together a video for so-and-so. Can you do a quick shout out? Sometimes I'm irreverent, or I mean, everyone knows I'm really funny, but sometimes the jokes don't land. And so I get it, but I'm like, is this like, so what? I literally go and
I've told you what I think the so what.
I know, and that's why I wanted to hear it though, because I was like, to me,
it's not, to me, it's about whether it's real and whether the president's lying is now an issue. But to me, it's about what I thought the journal story was going to be more about. And there's a little bit in there about it, which is what is their relationship? All right, we got to move on from this.
And it goes to why is he so kind of, defiant against his own party? Why is he so drip on all of it? Like you put the two together, and you
not just his own party, but the previous statements of his FBI director and deputy FBI director. All right, want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a clip,
And you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.